All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Originals _ Sports Podcast. I am your host, Big Mike. Mother host Smooth is here. It's two of us today because it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, obviously, because Mother's Day is important. But again, we are on Apple, we are on Spotify, we're on the YouTube, we're on Instagram. So if you want to check us out, check out all the shorts, check out all the content, feel free to hit us up. Anyway, we are going to get it right into it. We're not going to waste y'all time by introducing and talking. The playoffs have been nuts. Both playoffs have been nuts. So I'm going to pose this question to Smooth for the NBA playoffs specifically. Let's talk about Cleveland and Indiana. We were talking about that before we got on. So Smooth, I'm going to pose a question to you. A simple question. What the hell is going on with these series right now? Because our predictions last week, and we'll get NFL Girl and a VO on there next week. We'll have them talk about it. But we were very bold. I gave Indiana some respect, but I did not expect what I'm seeing. I had no idea. So what's your take on what's going on with the series right now?
Well, I say the actual Indiana-Cleveland series is based on injuries. So, and Indiana did exactly what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to attack people when they're down, and they did it. The second game, though, I give them the first game. Heroics. Hollenberg. Yeah, he is showing that he's one of those guys.
Yes.
Even with his unorthodox jump shot, which I don't understand how it goes.
Bro, his shot is weird.
They have more pieces than we realize. They have a deep bench.
Mm-hmm.
They got one of your Toronto guys over there balling. I didn't want to say it. I just wanted to say it. Yeah, I let you say it, right? Because I didn't want to say it. So
you just got one of your Toronto guys. You got to put some respect on the man's name right there. Siakam's a beast.
Yeah, Siakam is playing great ball.
Yes, yeah.
It's Neesmith is hitting big shots. You have players that are hungry, and they just came in there and took it from them the first game.
They did.
The second game, they didn't have Garland. They didn't have Mobley. When you don't have those two critical pieces, and they have Garland in the first game as well. When you don't have those pieces, for Cleveland to be up, I think 7 with like a minute left, and for them to implode, that's just terrible coaching to me. Like, what are you doing? If you just hold a ball for the shot clock, they get less possessions. And all you got to do is hit free throws.
Yeah.
And then Donovan Mitchell, box out. How about that? How you not box the man out when you get dunked on when you're hit? Then you get cramps in your legs. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Then they turn the ball over in the inbounds play after that timeout. Yeah. Then, because he used the ball as timeouts, you don't have any timeouts, which you could have challenged a play or challenged a call, but you ran out of timeouts. And it's impressive that they came back from that game in game 3 and put it to them. Because
they definitely did that.
Because that just shows heart. And also they got Garland and Mobley back.
Mm-hmm.
So today is a pivotal game for them, right? No, they don't play today. They do play today. Tomorrow.
Oh, they do? Yeah.
Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is a pivotal game. No, actually, they play today.
Well, they do play today.
Cleveland plays today.
Ooh.
8 o'clock. So right now, they can tie it up. They took 2 from you. You take 2 from them.
Now it's even.
Now it's an even series.
Yep.
You got Boston and the Knicks playing today as well.
That series, is wild to me. I watched all 3 of the games. If you were to tell me that the Knicks would have won both games and now the Knicks fans are going out of their minds saying fuck Boston and all this crazy shit. And then they got humbled royally. Yesterday, they just got dominated. And again, just looking at that series from my perspective, I'm very impressed the way Boston came back and just put foots all up in them. And again, it just shows Boston's living by the 3, dying by the 3. When they're hitting, they are damn near impossible to beat. But when they don't, you can beat them. But again, it just shows to your point that you made before we got on. The Knicks only won game 1 by 3 and then game 2 by 1 point.
1 point.
And despite the fact that Boston shot in those 2 games 20 out of 100 threes, which is insanity that you're just shooting that many threes at that point, but again, they couldn't miss yesterday. It felt like everybody was hitting. Pritchard I think Pritchard hit like 5 threes yesterday. So it's like everyone was hitting threes. And if Boston's doing that, Knicks don't have a shot in hell. I mean, so that's telling to me. And again, Knicks fans, I don't know what you're going to do because, again, Boston's a little bit deeper than y'all. You guys wrote what the rotation Knicks about maybe 8, maybe. So Boston's deeper. And if they're hitting, and if you got Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench in 5 threes, I don't know what you're going to do with that realistically. To your point with the Cleveland series, I'll just go back to my thoughts on that. I mean, I think everything you said I agree with. I mean, it's like now that Garland's back, because he was, I didn't. To your point, I didn't realize Garland was out.
Yeah, because my actual prediction would have been different if I knew that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
They were well rested and ready to go. That's what I thought. Now
that Garland's back, I don't know. I mean, because he's just, and with everything that they got, it's just going to be hard for Indiana. Like you got to, it would have been, to your point, they would have had to if they were going to win the series, they had to win yesterday. Because now I feel like Cleveland, if they win game 2, if they win game 4, and then you got to go back to Cleveland, that's going to be rough. It's going to be
real rough, man. And the thing is, man, like with the Knicks, you got Mike Lee, you got all these people in the stands, right?
Talking crazy.
But you cannot be happy or really feel confident when you only won by 3 points and 1 point. And then they come into your place and beat you by like 15.
Like that game wasn't even close, bro. It was close at like the first 5 minutes. And then after that.
And the thing is, Mike, is this. They was actually playing good defense as well and getting layups. So it wasn't just all 3-pointers. They had a couple transition baskets and stuff like that. So if you allow Boston in the transition, it's lights out. Porzingis came back. So I think all you Knicks fans are flying high like you beat them by 20 and 25 the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Then you feel confident. 1-3 go in, you lose the second game with just 1 extra 3 going in. In the first game, you won by 3. We're going into overtime. Literally.
Yep.
If they hit 1 more 3. you only won by 1. You won by 3 and 1 with a team shooting like 25 for 120 from 3-point range.
Exactly.
Like, come on. Knicks fans, how can you be confident? But that's what you have with New Yorkers, right?
Yeah.
New Yorkers believe in the unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
They believe that things are going to happen because they're starved for a championship. When the last time they won one?
New York? In any sport or just in the Knicks?
The Knicks?
70s, I think.
The Yankees?
2009.
So they're starving, right? We're in 2025. The Jets?
Oh, God. It's been a minute. Giants, 2011. The Rangers, 93.
So
Islanders has been a minute, like 80s, 70s.
So all you New Yorkers, what are you so excited about? Literally, I'm confused.
Yeah.
You was hyped with Aaron Rodgers coming. What did that get you?
Nothing.
And then you turn around and you trade back into the first round and get Jackson Dart. Are you excited about that as well? What is that going to get you?
Hopefully a Super Bowl in like 3 years.
Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson as your quarterbacks. And now Jackson Dart.
Hey, don't forget about Cam Scatterbo, the running back. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great pickup because he's an all-world guy.
He is a good running back, yeah. We'll see what we'll see what that offensive line is. That offensive line is exactly
last year. Yeah. Who really did well for you guys, but he's not a 3-down back. The Scatterbo will give you some versatility.
Yeah, for sure. Getting your offensive line blocked up.
So they still get a number 2 receiver, right?
I'm guessing.
I don't see them draft one. Did they draft one?
No, they have on the roster, but they're not the number 2s. They're just receiver. We're just dunking on Knicks sports right now. But listen, listen. To your point, I mean, I understand your point about the confidence piece. I mean, obviously they won, so that's all that matters. But to your point, I mean, Boston, simply put, didn't play well, good enough. And you were able to do what you're supposed to do. But then when Boston's playing at the level that they play at or are capable at, you stood no chance. And if Boston does that tonight or whenever they play again and the next 3 times, the Knicks clearly, you see that there's a gap in terms of the teams. Like yesterday to me showed that if Boston is on their shit, New York does not stand a chance. Boston has to be like off for the Knicks to maybe
even stay close. Yeah, to even stay close.
That's not, you know what I'm saying?
I think Towns broke his hand, right?
He might have, yeah. He might have.
And if he's not playing, you have no shot.
Yeah, you need Towns. Shit. Listen, I thought it's gonna still go 6, as I said last week. It's just, and then the Indiana series, to your point, that's still gonna probably go 6. Maybe Indiana could get a game, but the way if they play it, if Cleveland plays the way they played yesterday, Indiana don't got no shot in hell.
With Garland back in the game, man, it just changes everything.
It just changes everything. I agree with that 1,000%.
It takes pressure off of Mitchell. It allows Mobley to be dominant.
Because now you can't blitz, let's say, Mitchell now and focus all your attention. You got to now play everybody pretty much straight up if you're Indiana now.
And now the guy that came into the guy that was pushed into the starting lineup is now coming off the bench. He's comfortable at. So now you have situations where Cleveland's rotation is back in place.
Yeah.
So Indiana, you're not playing against second tier guys.
No, not anymore.
So now it's going to change.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's bad. It's bad for Indiana. So let's go to the West. We can go to the West. The West has been interesting. But West has been pretty competitive for the most part. Minnesota won. It's been okay. Series has been okay. It's going so far. Denver's winning. Denver's up 2-1 right now, which is good. OKC's been okay. They won game 2. They dominated game 2, but it's like a close game. I'm concerned with OKC in terms of if it's a close game, can they win? They can blow out a team by 40, sure. But if it's tight, which these games have been, they haven't exactly, I'm a little bit concerned because I feel like this series is going to go down to the wire. And again, if it's a close game, Denver's going to win that. So OKC, you're going to have to, do more. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be, okay, we're going to just blow a team out because Denver's not always going to have an off game like game 2. You know what I'm saying?
It's only been one close game, though. The first game was close.
Yeah.
Obviously, been blowouts, right? So that
pretty much. Denver basically just dusted them in game 3. So OKC's going to have to figure it out. I think, everyone's on Denver's played really well. I think that's the big key. Joker's going to do what he's doing. That's a given, but everyone else I think has played well around him. Porter's been playing great. I feel like, and obviously, Aaron Gordon's been really, really playing well. So I think that's helped as well. So
Gordon playing really well, man, right there. That's right there. And I think that's been really the wild card this whole playoff so far for Denver. How well Gordon's been playing. And Chris Brown has been playing great as well.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about him. Westbrook's been okay. He's been.
Yeah, but
But he's
you flip a coin with Westbrook.
You flip a coin with Westbrook.
You never know.
Yeah. He's a flip a coin. So right now, yeah, Denver's up 2. So what do you feel like OKC can do to get back into to win this series? I'm not even gonna say get back into but win this series.
They need to play complementary basketball, right? I think it's too much one-on-one type situations, right? They need to play complementary basketball. It can't just be SVG, it can't just be him, And the thing that I don't understand about them is, like you said, they can win blowout games because there's no pressure. The game they won, they led the whole fourth quarter by at least 10 points, so it's no pressure. Then you get blown out in game 3, and then you really didn't know in crunch time what to do in game 1. This game right here is pivotal. If they don't win this game, it's over.
I agree. It's gonna be hard to come back 3-1 against Denver. Yeah.
So I just don't understand. I think they're missing a veteran that could go get a bucket. Somebody like KD that could say, calm down, youngins. I'll get you a bucket. And I think that would solidify that team. They have to move a couple pieces to get KD. You put KD back on OKC. Now, SBG has a running partner that he can rely on in crunch time. So it ain't got to be him. KD can hit that shot like he did for the Warriors when he was there.
Yeah, because I like Jalen Williams. I think Theo's point last week about Jalen Williams being pivotal because, Jalen is good, but that.
He's still young, though, right?
He's young.
He's not. They don't have any. Who is the veteran they have on their team? And don't do like you did in the first conversation.
You asked me a vet.
Don't do like you did in the first conversation we had and say that guy. Don't do it, man.
Caruso is technically a vet. You're by definition.
I knew you was gonna go there, right? I knew.
You said who is a vet. You just said ask the question.
But that's not the kind of vet.
Let's roll back the tape. We'll rewind this later.
Yeah.
I
Well, what I'm
understand your
saying
point.
is,
like, who's a reliable? Like, no, they don't. I don't right now.
A reliable. Okay, a reliable vet.
There is no one. They don't have anyone.
Okay, so I just said vet. You ran that way with it, but a reliable vet.
A reliable vet? No. They have. I mean, no, they don't have anyone reliable like as a vet. No, most of their guys are what.
And that's why you see so many ups and downs.
Yeah.
If you had a guy on that team, if you had a guy on the team that can say, hey guys, slow it down. I'm gonna get you a bucket. They might have beat them.
Yeah.
They'd have beat them in game one. If they had.
Because initially, I remember we had this conversation before the playoffs. I was a little bit bullish on that because I liked the young core, and this team is a good playoff team. If, to your point, the goal is to win a championship and get to a finals,
right?
Seeing the way this team is playing right now, yes, I do think like they would need a part like a vet or somebody who can get, to your point, get them a bucket when, let's say, to give Shai Gilgeous a blow. Or, you know what I'm saying? But, the question then becomes, okay, if you're going to go, let's say a Bradley Beal, hypothetically, or let's say a KD, what are you willing to move to get that? If you're going to do that, because you're going to obviously have to move pieces. They have the pick, so that's not a question. The question just becomes, okay, if I'm, let's say, Phoenix, okay, I'm going to need some comp, like a player. I'm going to need some players. So who are you, like, if you're OKC now, who are you willing to give up? And you're going to have to figure that out because you have so many first round picks. You still got like 7 or 8 first round picks over the next. Like, you can't even pick all those players. They picked another guy who's a potential point guard or whatever for the future this year. That I don't know what you're going to do with, because you already have Shai, who's the presumptive MVP. So
right.
OKC, I mean, obviously they're really good. They're, the 1 seed, all that. But the question becomes, okay, I remember me and Vio had this conversation on halftime years ago where OKC just sucked. And it's like, where's their direction? And you're hoping the young guys stepped up, which they did. Now it's like, okay, you've been to the playoffs 2 years. You've been the 1 seed 2 years. You hopefully can win this series. But if you don't, hypothetically, what's the plan now? Because are you going to just run it back again and do the same thing? Or are you going to say, okay, let's, to your point, see if we can get a vet who can actually go get us a bucket? Because I feel if the goal is to win a championship, that has to be the direction you're going to go. Otherwise, to me, you're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result, which is the definition of insanity, essentially.
I agree. I mean, if they lose this series, it's got to be KD or nothing. I mean, Bradley Beal is not going to help them.
No.
It's got to be KD or nothing.
Or just run it back.
Yeah, but they have enough draft picks that they could get lucky. But it's going to be another young guy. Another young guy is going to take time to get adjusted to the NBA.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to swing some type of move to get a vet on your team. And it ain't got to be KD. You can just get a reliable score. And if you can do that, this changes the dimension of that team.
I agree.
Because like you said, like, it's SVG, Jalen Williams, Holgram, right?
Yeah.
But they have a nice bench where they can give up some of those bench players over there. Because I think Phoenix is going to have to start all over now at this point.
Who, Phoenix?
Phoenix. You tried to experiment with.
They did. Oh, which is a waste.
You tried to experiment with KD, Bill,
and Booker,
and it didn't work.
No.
Like, you were terrible this year, literally, awful. Right?
No, they were bad. They sucked.
And KD saying he wants to leave.
Which
that would be interesting for him to go back to OKC.
It would be.
And what would be amazing if he went back to OKC and they won. Imagine that.
But but you know what the narrative would be, right? It wouldn't be. He wouldn't get any of the credit. It would still just be, it would.
He'd get the credit going back to OKC because because what has OKC done? So
I don't disagree with you. But I just, like the media is going to spin the narrative that, he just riding the tails of SGA and all this stupid stuff. I don't disagree with you. I think it'd be a cool story. I mean, apparently Miami's looking to get KD, but I don't think KD's changing life in Miami. I don't think their roster's good enough. Even with KD there, they're maybe a 8th seed at best where they were this year.
It's different in Miami.
Yeah.
Jimmy Buckets fitted. He fit Miami to a T.
Yeah,
you
KD's
lose the
older.
heart of your team. You lose the heart of your team, giving them over to Golden State. It's gonna take a while to get that heartbeat back.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't think that would be a good fit for KD because again, you're not getting this. Is not 2017 or 2016 KDs that's going to Miami. You're getting 2025 KD. I think KD would be better served, to your point, being in a role where he can get a bucket, but he's not like the sole like, hey, KD, you got to like carry us tonight. You got a guy in SGA and whoever who can carry him. He just got to get him where he fits in. So I was remember months ago I was bullish on the idea of KD. I think it's not a crazy idea. In other words, I'll say that it's not as crazy as I thought it was, let's say 2 months ago when you pitched it initially. I don't think it's that crazy because right now, OKC, what's the goal? Are you trying to win a championship or are you just going to get to the playoffs and be the 1 seed? Because you can just stay with your roster and just do that. But if the goal is to win a championship, to your point, you might have to you have 7 or 8 fucking draft picks still. Like
you gotta make the move, man.
You gotta do something. Like, because to me, otherwise you're just gonna be a great team that's just never gonna get a chip. Unless you're hoping that these guys elevate their, and do you want to wait? That's the question. Are you willing to be patient and wait?
And eventually, man, you can't keep running it back and think you can get the same results as well. You've been in 1 seed 2 years in a row, but I believe other teams are going to get better next year, so it's not going to be so easy to get that 1 seed again.
Like Houston, I think Houston's on the rise.
A lot of injuries and a lot of switches around in the West. You're not going to continuously do that over the West. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, because I think Houston's on the rise. I think Houston is definitely on the rise.
But they need a reliable vet as well. They come over there.
Maybe, hey, KD, go to Houston. There you go. Go to Houston. Why not?
Man.
I'm just throwing it out there. I understand for or against it because you have these young teams, and I think KD. I don't think KD's as like a distraction. I think KD wants to go hoop, but I think the fit has to make sense and stuff like that. And I don't think you can look at KD as he was like 10 years ago, right? I think he has to be like a complementary piece. And I think KD doesn't mind at this stage in his career. I don't think he cares about legacy and all that. I think he's already cemented his legacy. So, maybe people that don't like him for whatever reason have a problem with him, but like he's good. So it's really,
Houston is a good fit, right? Because they have that coach in place.
Yeah. So it's like, I just think
that can control the narrative of that situation.
Yeah, for sure. And so I just think, then Houston has a bunch of picks, I believe, too. Houston still has a few picks as well. So it becomes, okay, if your front offices, what's the goal? Do you want to stay pat and just say, hey, we're good, we're the 2 seed, we had a good year, and we're just going to hope for these guys to develop? Or are you going to take a swing? But not you're not taking a home run swing. You're not like gutting whatever to get KD. You're not giving up like your whole bench and all that. You're giving up maybe a couple bench players, picks, and all that, and then Phoenix will probably screw that up anyway. So, because whatever, Phoenix is just a dumpster fire to me as a franchise right now. Because I don't know what they were doing. They went from going to the finals to now.
They got greedy, man. You went to the finals, so they thought they could just like run it back, switch some pieces around like you playing chess, and it's going to work. And it didn't work. It didn't work. You didn't switch the pieces around the right way, and it didn't work. Getting over to the Warriors, right?
Yeah, let's go over to the Warriors.
So you have Steph
out.
He's out. Hamstring, and now he's starting to get lower body injuries. So that means it's almost over. And with him not there, they look completely out of sorts. Then you got Draymond Green crying and complaining, but you shouldn't play basketball that way. The only way you can be consistent and stay in this league is when you play bully ball, dirty basketball. That's the only way you can compete. You're not a scorer.
No.
You're okay defensively. You're not that great defensively because you do a lot of grabbing and holding.
Yes.
You have a lot of flagrant fouls. You're always getting into it with the referee. You force KD off the team when y'all was on a back-to-back championship. You force him off the team. You sucker punch Jordan Poole. Like,
no, you're choking out Rudy Gobert like you're a WWE wrestler.
Come on, man. It's like, don't complain. But he's trying to throw the race card like he's complaining as if he didn't cause it. You caused it by your actions because you knew that's the only way you could compete. As a second-round pick coming out of Michigan State, where at Michigan State you wasn't highly touted.
He wasn't.
So you got drafted into the one place that you could be successful. If you went to any other franchise, you'd probably be out of the league. But you went to the perfect franchise that needed a bully on their team because they was the light-skinned pretty boys shooting threes. So they needed somebody dirty. I mean, let's be real, though. Let's be real. The light-skinned team shooting threes without a whole bunch of toughness. So here comes Draymond Green, a second-round pick.
Right.
They made him a point forward. Mm-hmm. He could dribble a little bit and pass and run that offense that Steve Kerr put in place. And he would grab and hold people and cause confusion. The only situation, I couldn't see him in another situation, and the team need that.
No, I always said this about Draymond. Draymond fits with the Warriors. If Draymond was to leave the Warriors, it wouldn't work. Like if he went back to Detroit, no, it wouldn't work. No, I agree with that. I've always said that about Draymond. No, I mean this to your point. I mean, yeah, they need. I mean, Steph has they gotta get Steph back to make this a series because at this point they're gonna lose the next few games because I just don't see a scenario where they're gonna be able to compete as good as Jimmy Butler can play. I mean, their roster is meh at best. It's a meh roster, and that I mean they're just not good enough to beat the Timberwolves. I don't think. And if without Steph, they got a puncher's chance with Steph. Without Steph, they got no shot. I don't think they got like. And you see, like with Anthony Edwards had like 37 last night or something like that. So I mean, you got nothing for him. And obviously you got McDaniel's playing well. Julius Randle's playing good. Rudy Gobert is going to do his thing. You just don't have the depth. And again, like to your point with Draymond, that's the only way you're going to be able to stop Rudy Gobert is by doing dirty stuff, for example, because he's bigger and taller than you. So you're 6'5", he's 7'2". What are you going to do with that? You've got nothing. So it's just going to be tough sledding for the Warriors. I'm happy personally because one of my friends here, I'm going to shout him out, Ross Van. He's a diehard Warriors fan, and I'm glad to see him losing because I want to just rip him and make fun of him. And so when they lose completely, I'm just going to shit talk him for the rest of the series because without Steph, they got no shot. That's the point blank period. If Steph can come back, but even to your point, if he comes back, he's not going to be, I don't even think he's going to be 80%. But is 80% Steph enough?
He might re-injure it though.
You're probably right. I mean, Steph. The one thing with Steph is he's always been injured. He's been unfortunately injury prone, right? So, and to your point, he's on the back end of his career. He's not, in his prime anymore. But he can still play a little bit because again, he's not playing a physical brand of basketball. But again, it's he is your franchise. So without him, you can have Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler's gonna only give you so much, right? You're kind of stuck, unfortunately, now. And yeah, to me, that series, if Steph don't come back, it's not looking great for the Warriors. I just don't see any scenario where they can come back unless the Timberwolves just fall apart and just don't play well, which with Anthony Edwards there, him being to your point and your view's point, him elevating, I just don't see that happening. I just don't.
And it was a scare. It was a scare when he hurt his ankle the other night as well.
It was, for sure.
I was like, oh boy, this is going to be
hard. When I heard that, I was like, oh, hopefully he's okay.
Can you imagine without Ant in that lineup? This would have been one of the worst series.
Oh God, listen, without Ant and Steph, now it's like a 7-game series that will go back and forth forever.
Of yuck, right?
Yeah, it's me yuck. It's me. Like I don't even know. You're flipping a coin at that point who you can pick. I don't even care at that point if Ant's not there. Now with Ant there, yeah, they're done with that. Let's say if Ant went out, then who would you have taken then? If Ant was in the series.
Well, Ant and Steph out, man, I had to go with Minnesota because they still got more depth. You know what I'm saying? If you're the Warriors, like what is Steve Kerr doing? Not playing Kuminga, right? Just taking Kuminga out of the rotation. Why? Now you want to call on him because now you need him. He put up like 20-something points the other day. I'm like, you ain't needed that. And
it would have helped.
These series, I think it would help.
It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt.
And I know it for him and his agent, they out of there after this in the summer. I know they're gone.
Oh, he's a free agent?
Way. I think so because I think he's been there. This is like his 4th year, right?
He is. Yeah, it has been his 4th year.
Yeah. So I know, and he was trying to get out of there last year.
He was.
He's been trying to get out of there. But for some reason, they kept him around. I know for sure he's not coming back after getting taken out of the rotation. This is supposed to be his year. It's supposed to be his year to step up. him and Moody just step into that lineup and help out a lot.
I agree. I think you know what it is like, and I remember we had these conversations on the old app about the Warriors because there's a bunch of Warriors fans on there, so we always had these stupid conversations. And I agree. I think the Warriors were in a tough spot because they sucked. They drafted guys, but then they had a championship window that they ended up breaking through in 2022. They won their chip. So it wasn't a situation where they could let Kuminga develop the way they could have because in a normal situation because you still had this window. So Kuminga was in a tough spot where he had to you have to be on now. And it's like he's still growing. And I think to your point, I think he showed flashes. I think he would probably flourish on another team because I just don't think with the Warriors right now, he's to your point with Steve Kerr, I just don't think they either have faith in him, they don't believe in him fully. I don't know what it is. But yeah, to your point, if he's a free agent, I'd be shocked if he'd want to stay unless they just gave him the bag, which I don't know if the Warriors are necessarily going to do.
No, they're not going to do that.
So he's probably, to your point, he's probably out of there.
Going back to my point when I said that Giannis was coming to the Lakers, do you believe any of that now?
I mean, I don't know about the Lakers. I don't see Giannis. I'd be remiss. I don't know if he's necessarily going to stay in Milwaukee. I'd be shocked if he stayed in Milwaukee unless he just stayed for blind loyalty. But do I think he'll stay in Milwaukee? Probably not. Where he'll go, that's the question. I have no idea. I mean, could be the Lakers possibly, but then I don't know. Giannis seems like the type that I don't know if he cares for the limelight that the Lakers would bring. I think he's more of a laid back dude. I think he just wants to kind of go hoop. And I know with the Lakers, he can do that, but then there's also media and right? So would he want to do that? I don't know. Just from seeing his interviews and just his temperament, I don't know if that's a spot that he'd want to be in. But I don't know. I don't think I'd be shocked if he stayed in Milwaukee. I just don't. I think that team is basically done. They won a chip. That window is slammed all the way shut. And they have no picks, so they're gonna have to figure something out. Because they tried with Dame, didn't work because you don't. And Doc Rivers we all know what Doc Rivers is. So I could see honestly leaving. I mean, could be the Lakers, but I don't know. The bottom line is I don't think he's gonna stay in Milwaukee. I can't. Why would he stay? I would ask him why would you want to stay in Milwaukee?
I just know, man, that this experiment with Donovich, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to not get him pieces this year.
No, they got to get him pieces. They got to get him pieces.
And I think Giannis said he want to see what his teammates does before he makes a decision. No matter what your teammate does, you're going to be terrible. You're going to be a 6 seed, 7 seed in the East.
At best.
At best.
At best. I agree.
And we know. I don't understand how Doc Rivers keep getting jobs. It's like, do he have pictures on somebody or something? I don't know. I mean,
I just didn't understand. When they fired Griffin, when you were first in the East, and your rationale was, defensively we were bad. Okay, but you're first in the East, and this is a first-year head coach. You're not gonna. You gave him 43 games, and he was first in the East, and you fired him. That's when I was like, you guys have no clue what the fuck you're doing. And I watched Kendrick Perkins say, "Yeah, I think the move made sense." What? I don't understand. I did never, and that to me is when I lost all faith in Milwaukee because it's like, what are you doing?
Well, we know why Kendrick Perkins said it. He was on that Boston team that won the championship.
Yeah, because he's trash, and he doesn't know he's an idiot. So there's that part too. But
and Doc Rivers won one championship, right?
He's been riding the coattails of that championship forever.
I don't understand.
I don't disagree with you.
I lose that series against Atlanta because Ben Simmons won't shoot the ball.
That part.
And then you lose the game. Then he coached for the Clippers as well. You never was able to get the Clippers out of that run with all those pieces.
Yep.
And you always lost. Never went to a finals.
That part.
But he's the first guy you select, not Mark Jackson, who turned that whole. What people don't realize is Mark Jackson put that lineup together.
He drafted Steve. There was part of Steve was one that got Clay, Steph, Draymond.
And he put Clay in the start lineup.
Harrison Barnes, for example, all of them. It was all Mark. Because Steve Kerr just came in and fixed it up.
Yeah,
but Mark Jackson, to your point, was the one that built it.
Yeah, he orchestrated that.
He was the one that orchestrated, absolutely. Yeah, I listen. I don't know. I mean, Doc is again. He has rode the way everyone is. He has rode the champ that 2008 championship to death, and that is to me the only reason why, in my opinion, he still gets jobs. Because even though he's won a lot of games, he's come up small in playoffs since that championship, and that's just the reality of it. And
kind of like James Harden, right?
Yeah, a little bit like James Harden. It's a little bit like James Harden. Their careers are the only difference is at least Doc has won a championship. I mean, James has just been to the finals once.
He ain't gonna win no championship.
James probably not. No, I think at this point, I mean, James just playing to wear his Adidas and look good on the court. I mean,
maybe if he shaved that beard off, he might do better.
No, he'd be awful. He would look terrible. That's his whole look. He can't shave his beard. He'll lose all of his endorsements if he shaves the beard.
I mean,
you see James Harden with the regular beard. He looked awful. I mean, he looks awful now. I'm not saying he looks great now, but that's his whole shtick is the beard. You can't shave that.
He has to, man. I mean, if he
wants to make it, just shave it.
Shave it. And then come out. I mean, you having it hasn't done anything for you, though, right? What has it done?
It's just got him endorsements.
He ain't been to the finals not one time, has he?
Not since OKC.
And he was a sixth man at OKC anyway.
He was. So that's correct. Like, I mean, if you're talking about being the guy, no, he's never been to the finals. No. Yeah. And I mean, the Clippers. I like the Clippers, but I mean, I don't know. It's a nice team, but it's a weird team. If you know what I mean. They're good. They're a good team, but like they're a good playoff. They're good. They're going to get to the playoff team. They're not like we're going to pick them to get to the finals. Because I like Kawhi. I mean, obviously, but like I just don't.
Yeah, I don't know how they lost the series to Denver. They should have won.
Yeah, I know. I agree. It was a horrible series. Horrible series. Anyway, we'll switch gears to the NFL. We'll talk about the George Pickens trade because that came up on. We didn't even get a chance to talk about that because that happened a few days after.
Yeah.
And we have been talking about it. And what are your thoughts on the George Pickens trade to the lovely Cowboys? So the Cowboys, you got your second guy now. You got your wide receiver 2 right now. So what are your thoughts on that trade?
Well, this is what Pittsburgh does. They draft good receivers. They draft well. They build up receivers, and then they trade them because
right
because they're divas, they're head cases, and if you want to look at it, Cowboy fans are happy, but Pittsburgh doesn't get rid of people they like, right? So okay, he'll come over to your locker room as a head case. That can't handle that. So if he doesn't get the ball, you think he's going to complain? There was a report that during the Christmas game, he came to the game an hour and a half before the game, and he walked through, and he came in through the media way, right? They said players aren't supposed to do that. So he was already being dysfunctional, having antics on the field. Antonio Brown.
Same.
George Pickens.
Martavis Bryant.
Marquez Bryant.
Yep.
Claypool.
Over
and over and over again.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, you think you got a treasure. You better not. You better hope he's on his best behavior.
Just just throw him the ball early and get him, engaged, and you're good to go. That's all you got to do.
But CeeDee Lamb was on the other side. So if he throw the ball to Pickens, what is CeeDee Lamb going to say?
I know I think
that can't feed multiple guys. We know that. You know that. Come on, Mike. You know he can't.
No. Listen, I'll say this. I was from a schematics. If we're taking the off the field antics off, sure, it's a great move. But this is not about on the field. It's about off the field, right? Like, is George Pickens going to keep his head on straight for a season? Can he not, wave guns and on the field and fight people on the field and just do foolishness? And I think the Cowboys is probably the worst because everything's amplified in Dallas. So
Pittsburgh, that's a steel town. So
it's a steel town, but I mean, it's still amplified because the Steelers are still a marquee franchise. I mean, Dallas is, for whatever reason, we can debate why, they're America's team. So everything gets amplified there. And to your point, I mean, if he's behaving, then it's a great move. But is he going to be able to keep his head on straight for 17 weeks? History says no. So, especially considering that story you just shared, Actually, what are you doing, George? Like, and I mean, it's telling. I read reports that like Mike Tomlin was the one that pushed for the trade. Like he was like, I'm done with George. And
they actually was talking about that during the draft, but it just never happened.
Right, yeah, they were trying to figure it out and trying to make it all work and stuff. I mean, listen, Dal, again, you got your WR2 or WR 1.0 or 1.1A or 1B or whatever. I don't know. To your point, I mean, does Dak have the temperament to handle those two dynamics? Hey, Dak, you're getting paid $60 million, so that's your responsibility to figure that out.
Like, what has Dak done since he's been there, right?
He's won 2 playoff games.
Yeah. So he can have all these gaudy,
great stats,
regular season stats,
amazing stats.
But when you turn the switch and get intensified and it's the playoffs, I mean, you saw what the Packers did to him, and he threw 3 interceptions. I mean,
correct. And I mean, this we can go down the list of that history. Playoff flubs. We can do that. That could be a podcast in itself.
Yeah, it got a makeshift backfield, right?
I mean, listen, they got 3 Tylers on the offensive line. 3 Tylers. So there you go. They fixed their offense.
What did they do 5 years ago when they did it before, right?
They're just they had a nice run game. That was all they did. Defensively, I guess they're okay. I mean, they've drafted okay. It's just winning games. And you forget they don't have McCarthy there. They have Schottenheimer as the coach. So we're going to see how he does. I totally forgot about that. So we'll see with the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't think it would have made a difference, man. McCarthy or Schottenheimer. I mean,
probably not. You're not wrong. I don't think.
And you said like the Steelers. If you play with the Steelers, that's under the radar, right?
It is.
You go to Dallas, that pressure with that star on your helmet,
it's different.
It bursts people, right?
It does.
And can you imagine Pickens not getting thrown the ball and he's going to CeeDee Lamb?
No, he'll bug out. If it's like let's say it's game 8 and it's like, let's say for 3-4 games, to your point, he's not getting as many targets as he wants. I mean, he might be on his P's and Q's this year because he's on a contract year and he's trying to get paid. So maybe
that was not going to pay him.
No, I know he's not getting. He's trying to get paid somewhere else. So maybe this year will be an audition year to show, hey, I've changed, I've matured, I've learned my lessons. I'm going to be, on my P's and Q's. And I think this year you might see a better, well-behaved George Pickens until he gets his bread, because somebody's going to pay him in the offseason.
Did you see Michael Irvin all excited?
Of course. Michael Irvin's excited about anything, okay? Michael Irvin gets excited about anything Cowboy-related. He loses his mind. So that doesn't even remotely shock me.
So they believe with George Pickens, they win 12 games. What's your thoughts?
I'm sorry, the Cowboys win 12 games with George Pickens?
They said once they got George Pickens, they saying Cowboy fans are thinking they're going to win 12, 13 games.
On Madden? On Madden, absolutely. Absolutely they can win. In real life, like in real NFL, like a real game. I mean, no, I don't think their defense is even that good. Like, okay, offensively, fine. Your offensive line you've gotten guys on the offensive line. You've gotten some running backs. I mean, your run game was average at best last year. Your defense was okay at best. You're winning 12 games where? Like, could they get to the playoffs? Sure. They could be a 9-8, 10-7 team. I'll give them that. Man. 12, 13.
I'm telling you, Mike. You ain't hear that they saying?
No, I did not hear that. Like, unless they're talking
Urban, I think. Who else said it? I heard a couple people say that, right?
Listen, if they're playing Madden NFL 2K and Madden 25 or 26, yeah, absolutely they can do that. They can win 17 games on Madden.
But they're like New Yorkers, right?
Yeah.
Where they hyped up until that balloon pop, right?
Yeah.
And when the balloon popped, like they didn't make the playoffs, the Yankees lost, right? And then you hear quietness in New York, right?
Right. I mean, their draft was okay. Like they did an okay draft. They didn't sign a bunch of people in free agency. You get George Pickens and now you're winning 12 games. Like George Pickens is the piece that is going to just solve everything. Really?
But Mike, you know how they are, right? You heard Dak Prescott in the offseason. We right there with the Eagles.
No, they're not.
Well.
Yeah, on Madden, yes, absolutely. On Madden, y'all are there.
He said we played them well. We beat them. We played well in the division. Like you keep talking about, the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. Did you realize that before you made a comment, Dak? You're nothing but a company man. You do whatever Jerry tells you to do, right? Jerry told you not to kneel. What you did? Didn't kneel. You're a company man. We know it.
He knows what it is.
And the one time you went right or left when you said something about the fans, that's not a company man like.
Yeah, of course.
You got booed by the fans because you trash. Because you go out there, you turn the ball over, you got your brother on the sideline talking trash in the media. For what? You was a dual threat quarterback at Mississippi State. You wasn't a real quarterback.
No, he was a dual threat.
So now you think you're a real quarterback because Jerry, Mr. Oil Man Jones, pays you $60 million? He knows oil. He doesn't know football. As you see, that's why you guys steady. Struggle.
I mean, listen, they won the Super Bowls because of Jimmy Johnson. Sorry, Jimmy Johnson was the linchpin of that.
And you all you have on the sideline is puppet coaches. Basically. You had Jimmy Jones, and that's why I really didn't. I'm so happy y'all got rid of Jimmy Jones. Jimmy Jones was a great coach, and he had you guys in prime position to dominate. But you pissed him off, Jerry Jones. And now what have you had? You haven't had a real coach since then.
I mean, you had Bill Parcells, but that's about it.
That really wasn't a relationship, though. No, that was just like.
No, Jerry even said like he hired Bill Parcells just to shut everybody up about the idea that he can't have a strong coach. And then then Bill Parcells left, and then he went back to your point, hiring a bunch of yes men. And Rashad Neimer is going to be a yes man because why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, when you're on a radio show and you tell the players and you tell the actual host because he asks you a tough question that you'll replace them.
That's
you got issues, man.
Yeah, that part. And that's the reality where that's why Dallas will never win as long as Jerry Jones is there. Now, that's just the reality. Like as long as he's there and he wields the power, because ultimately the buck stops with him to some degree. He has advisors, I think, and they've drafted decent players. But again, you're not win like 12. If you win 12 games, great. That's awesome. Even if let's say for the sake of argument, they win 12 games this year. They're not at best they're going to get to the playoffs and do what in the playoffs?
First round exit.
That part. So even if your argument is, with George Pickens, we're going to win 12 games. That is fan-damn-tastic. You won 12 games with McCarthy too, and what did that get you? So it doesn't mean anything. It's empty calories. It's like eating Krispy Kreme donuts. It means nothing. You win the 12 games means nothing because you're not going to do jack shit in the playoffs because you haven't. Listen, Jalen Hurts was born, went through life, graduated college, high school, has been to 2 Super Bowls before the last time Dallas has been to it, and the last time Dallas went to an NFC Championship game. So I don't want to hear shit from Dallas fans. And if you want to say, Michael, you're a Titans fan, my team has been to 3 NFC Championship games since you guys have been to since you've been to the Super Bowl. So don't even tell me nothing.
Y'all guys had a great quarterback.
That part. So I'm missing that. And you can go about the Eagles. NFL girls can even talk about her Commanders not even Commanders. Her Denver Broncos have won 2 Super Bowls. Like how many Super Bowls since Dallas has been to theirs? VO's team has been to Super Bowls. So stop it, Dallas fans. Y'all don't got nothing. Y'all need to stop.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing that they talk so much, right?
They talk too much,
and they never win. So. Nobody in their right mind thought Green Bay was going to come in there and stomp on them like that. Nobody thought that.
No.
And Green Bay came in there and took it from them. They put up like 47 points, right? With your elite defense. Like, help me out. And then you're supposed to have been like one of the best scoring offenses, and you couldn't stay pace.
That part. Like I said, Dallas, if y'all are playing Madden, absolutely. Y'all are winning 17 games this year on Madden. Yes, you guys are winning. You guys are going to get to the NFC Championship. You'll probably lose in Madden too. You probably won't even win the Super Bowl in Madden. So y'all need to stop. Like stop. Yeah. Like that. I didn't know about that. That prediction when you just said that, I was like, what the hell? Yeah. I didn't know that was.
When you get off your head this week, man, it'll pop up on your feed somewhere where they said with George Pickens they win 12 games.
Like I remember I had a conversation with this girl like years ago, and she was trying to rib me about being a Titans fan, and she was a Cowboys fan. And I said, because she was like, oh, you're what I said, like, oh, you're a Cowboys fan? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I thought, it's America's team. I'm like, I thought American like winners. America doesn't like winners.
Yeah, she ain't like that.
I thought America liked winning. No,
she ain't like that.
No, she didn't. She blocked me afterwards. That's fine.
Emotional. Like, just have a conversation. I don't get it, right?
Listen, you want to rip me about my Titans? That's fine. But listen. If we want to go Titans and Cowboys resume, you don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do that. Let's not do that.
And y'all got Cam Ward.
And we got Cam Ward.
Be better than Dak. So it's like, you can't do it. You can't do it.
Yeah. And again, history's on our side on that one, so don't even try. And then obviously Derek Carr, the great Derek Carr, has retired after 11 seasons, over 41,000 yards. I think he ranks 22nd all time in the NFL. I think he retired yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, I think the news came out yesterday.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on on the situation with Derek Carr now retiring from the Saints? And where does this leave the Saints?
I mean, it was all these reports about the shoulder.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was going to happen, surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, like, y'all didn't do y'all research. You should have drafted Sanders.
Might as well.
Should have drafted Sanders instead of the guy that's already married.
Tyler Shuck. It's the Tyler.
I don't like saying his name, man. So I just say the kid is already married with kids. You know, and that's what I say, right? Because I don't want to say his name. And that's what you guys thought that was smart to do that. Now with Derek Carr retiring, you got to thrust him into the starting lineup.
Got no choice now.
You
got a new head coach. So good luck.
And you got a new coach, which I don't think he should be a head coach. I was a coordinator, but not a head coach. But the world we live in, these guys get opportunities. He could probably have 4 losing seasons and he won't get touched.
So I'm not going to do it. Like, we're not going to ask you to do like a over under in terms of wins, but where does this put now the Saints in that division?
Last.
I was thinking the same because I think even Carolina's better than them right now.
Carolina got a franchise quarterback,
and I like the pieces that they have. I mean, you got Olave with the Saints, but
and once Bryce Young came back, they was in every game they played.
They were. They played the Chiefs good too.
And they had opportunities to win. They just didn't have enough.
They just didn't have enough. Now, I mean, they're getting a McMillan, and you have legit, and you got some pieces there. The Saints, God.
And you got Bryce Young coming back with more confidence. Now he believes he's supposed to be in the NFL, opposed to hoping that he's supposed to be there. Now he believes it.
Yeah.
Now he got the confidence. I mean, it's rare that you set a rookie down and they come back like that. Normally they come back and they still shattered.
Yeah.
I give him props for watching the game and coming back. Not
because he could have just
he could have mailed it out. Yeah, and I give him props for that. And I mean, what I saw from him later in the year, I like this impressive. I thought he was too small, too short.
Yeah,
and now he's playing great football.
He is.
Going back to the Saints, what have they been since Drew Brees left?
Have they made the playoffs since Drew Brees left? I don't think they've made the playoffs since Drew Brees left.
Since Sean Payton and Drew Brees left, what have they been?
Nothing.
And then you take
Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck show, baby.
Alvin Kamara is fading out.
He's older, yeah.
This is going to be, oh man.
And
you got really excited New Orleans Saints fans, passionate fans.
Great.
This product is going to be horrible.
It's not going to be great, man. I mean, this is why I think they held on. I think too long to try to be competitive when they weren't. And you should have just. That's where I feel like the Steelers almost are to some degree, if it makes sense. Like, I feel like they're kind of holding on to think, okay, we can still compete when your window has kind of closed and maybe you need to reset. Like the Saints now you have no choice because Derek Carr is there. Because you could have made the argument, well, with Derek Carr, we can kind of compete. You weren't. I still think, to your point, they would have probably still been last in that division because I still think Atlanta's better. I think Tampa Bay is definitely better. And I think Carolina's better than the Saints, like roster-wise, just coaching-wise.
Agreed.
And now you have Tyler Shuck now. I mean, obviously, because you have to start him. You draft him in the second round. So now you're thrusting him in. Now, before you could have said, okay, we're going to sit you a year. You're going to be around the vet. You're going to learn. Nope. Hey, man, it's your show now. Go figure it out. And now it's going to be bad because your offensive line's not really great. To your point, Alvin Kamara is older. Your run game is not that great either. Besides Chris Olave and maybe Shaheen, you really don't have much in terms of receivers. Your tight end situation is, I don't know what that is. Defensively, again, you traded Lattimore to the Commanders. I mean, Cameron Jordan's good, but he's older. I don't know. It's not going to be. I don't know. The Saints is going to be. It's going to be rough. I don't.
Yeah. No cap space.
No cap space. You can't do anything. Like it's.
That's why this draft was so pivotal, right?
Right.
And you Tyler Shuck. I'll say this time, Tyler Shuck, right?
Tyler Shuck.
And I don't understand. Like, you've been cap struck for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yes.
And all you do is keep digging a deeper hole for yourself.
Yeah.
And you had an opportunity in this draft to make
that part.
Move.
That part.
Within a division, you don't have older quarterbacks.
You have younger.
You got younger quarterbacks. So get Shador in there, run that system. And if you had Shador, I think he's ready to play. So you put Shador in that system, and you might have had a punching chance, right?
Yes, I agree with that. You may not win the division, but I think you'd be like right now. They're going to. I don't know unless you're tanking to get Arch Manning next year. If that's the thought process, you're just going to be bad. And we're like, okay, we're going to suck this year, punt this year, and go get Arch Manning. If that's your rationale, okay. But like,
Archie Manning, but we don't know what Archie Manning is.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, I think he's going to be probably the number 1 overall pick, but I don't know what Arch Manning is going to be. I don't know what he's going to be this year. I mean, you're projecting and hoping that he's going to be that guy. But is he that guy? We're going to find out this year, right? But this year, like, what's your what's the goal for this year?
Why couldn't he beat out Ewers?
I don't disagree. Listen. I like Arch Manning, but again, we have to see what he's going to be because everyone right now is probably going to pencil him as the first overall pick coming out next year. Like I said this to a friend. It's not because of anything else except his last name right now.
Facts.
Now we'll see what he does because now he's the starter. Like there's no Ewers there. He's the guy. So now he's got a full year to showcase what he can do. And if you're the Saints, I think that was your thought process. You're going to suck balls. You're going to bring the hometown New Orleans kid home to New Orleans, and you're going to draft them first overall. And I guess, but then to me, you punted this season. Basically, you weren't even trying to do anything this season to realistically do anything, and that kind of sucks as a Saints fan.
But don't they usually say 1 year of starting really doesn't show a great body of work because you only started 1 year? So I guess it's different because his name is Manning. Because all these quarterbacks that had 1 year of great football play, they always talk about. Well, that's just 1 year on the field. So this is going to be 1 year for Manning.
Yeah, basically.
Because all he brought him in was for packages the other year. He would run the ball, not throw the ball.
Yeah, he played like a couple of games and he looked okay. But yeah, to your point, he was package guy, gadget guy. But yeah, he's going to have 1 year to showcase his lovely talent. And he's going to probably be the first overall pick unless you're taking somebody else, which I don't foresee. Because I think it's Arch Manning, first round pick right now, going to the New Orleans Saints. Because I just don't see... I love New Orleans, great city. I love to your point, very, very, very passionate fans. I just don't see this season being any better than 3 or 4 wins.
Man, I just don't understand. Like, what was the manager thinking about? Like, what were they thinking about? They had to get like when you look at Philadelphia, right, as an example.
Mm-hmm.
They pay guys early.
Yes.
And then let guys go.
Yeah.
That's how you run your organization. You draft well, bring young guys in.
Yeah.
That you hit on. Older guys get older. They help the young guys.
Mm-hmm.
Then you say, hey, I appreciate your business, and let them go.
Yeah.
What the Saints did was reverse. We're going to hold on to everybody, not draft young players, not hit. And now we cap struck.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't understand. I mean, kind of like Cincinnati as well. You had an opportunity to play both your Higgins and Chase, and you waited to the last moment. Yep. And now you're struggling with Hendricks. Now you done paid your receivers, got all that money tied into them.
Yep.
Your defense sucked last year,
which it did.
Now you're in a fight with Hendrickson. So what's going to happen?
And I think their first overall pick is now not in camp because he hasn't signed his contract yet, and I think there's issues with his deal, so he's not now even on the field. So now it's a mess.
That's the difference between successful franchises and not successful.
When I read that, I'm like, damn. And listen, I mean, I'm sure there's probably his agent probably saying, yeah, there's issues with the language of the contracts you're going to set up, but that just sucks because, again, to your point, Smooth, your defense was terrible. You're one player that has 35 sacks in 2 years, even though the narrative is he's getting older, he's still producing. You haven't paid him. You're probably not going to pay him because simply put, you can't because he gave two receivers all that money, which fair enough. You did that. But what are you going to do defensively? You're hoping that now Shamar Stewart, who is a guy who has athleticism but didn't flash, is going to be able to do stuffing. And then you got Miles Murphy, who hasn't done anything. You're hoping those guys coming off, like you're hoping and banking, whereas to your point, you have a guy who's done it for 2 years, 17 and a half sacks. These guys are not growing on trees. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's insanity to me that you have a guy who has 17 and a half sacks for 2 straight years. You have him just like in limbo. Like, we're not sure.
So Mike, what do you think they're finishing the division this year? Cincinnati.
With the Bengals?
Yeah.
I mean, they're third. Maybe, I mean, fuck. I don't even.
So moving around.
Divisions, I mean, honestly, Baltimore is number one.
I don't know. Because think about it. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati are what ifs to me.
No, they're all, that's why I had to pause. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh God.
They might finish second, man, just by default.
You're probably right. They'll probably be like 9-8, 8-9. Same with the Steelers.
But see, we don't know what the Steelers are going to do at quarterback.
Even if they get Aaron Rodgers, I still think they're an 8 or 9 win team at best. Maybe they might get 10 just to be lucky. But I don't think that Aaron Rodgers changes life that significantly for that team. I just don't think so.
I think it puts them. I think if they get Aaron Rodgers, it puts them over Cincinnati, possibly.
Yeah. But again,
who's the second receiver over there? Now they got Pickens and Pickens gone. Now you got DK.
I mean, they drafted Roman, guy from. I mean, they're expecting Roman Wilson. They drafted him last year to step up, but he was hurt. I mean, he's a great receiver at Michigan, and I think he fit with Michigan. I don't know how he's going to be with the Steelers. I didn't get a chance. I don't think he played much last year, so he's going to have to step up, and we'll see what he's able to do. But again, with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I think again they might get 10 wins.
So really, Cincinnati second or third?
Second or third, yeah.
Cleveland last.
Yes. Just because their quarterback situation. I don't know what their quarterback.
They drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, which I think. I mean, they said that Shador looked good in camp. Which, surprise.
And, Commanders did it that year though, because they drafted RG3 and then drafted Kirk Cousins.
Which is true. They did.
But they didn't already have 3 other quarterbacks on their roster when they did that as well.
That part. And I think they drafted Kirk Cousins as like just like he was there. Let's take him. They didn't think Kirk Cousins was amount to shit, right? Because you drafted RG3. That was your franchise guy. And then his knee turned into linguini, and then you had to throw in Kirk Cousins into the fix. And he was serviceable at best. And that's
Kirk Cousins been stealing money since then.
He's been shout out to Kirk Cousins' agent. I will always shout out to Kirk
I told you I want to have a conversation with him.
Me too. Kirk Cousins' agent, if you ever watch the pod,
come on this podcast with us, man. Please. Give us some of your secrets, right?
Please.
Because we want to make money as well, right?
More money.
Yeah.
More money. Like, listen, it's hard out here in Toronto. So if you can come and give me some info on how to get it.
Absolutely.
The fact that you were able to get Kirk Cousins.
The first guaranteed contract is amazing.
And the money that Kirk Cousins is out here just
all the money he's got ever since then.
Like Kirk Cousins, I heard like Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales, just living his life with his gold coins. Because again, he has done nothing to warrant. Has he even been to a championship game?
Nah, but the guy before him went from Minnesota.
Yeah, well, listen,
Kirk, he ain't go since. I mean, I still remember him throwing the ball. It's 4th and 12. He threw the ball 5 yards. I don't care what the play is. You got to throw for the first down.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. I was like, yeah, Kirk Cousins sucks. He's a terrible quarterback. Listen, but shout out to Kirk Cousins' agent though, for sure.
Yeah, because he got money for Atlanta. Atlanta paid him as well.
Atlanta gave him the bag back.
To destroy that team, he had threw one touchdown in 4 games and like 5 interceptions. Then he got set down. They had to say he want to start.
Yeah.
For who?
Cleveland. Why not? Just Cleveland. Go get Kirk. Why not? Just go get Kirk Cousins. You have 6
Pittsburgh.
Or Pittsburgh. Go get him. Why not? Why not? You got nothing to lose.
He's gonna win. He's not gonna win, but go get him.
No, you'll. I mean, listen. Him and DK will put up some. I think DK will put some. Maybe if he's somewhat decent DK could put up some stats.
But you saw what Penix looked like when he came in there. If he didn't switch Penix in there, they'd have made the playoffs. To me.
I mean, I like Penix. I like what they, and I like, and you know what? I'm slowly coming around to Atlanta's the two edge rushers.
Yeah,
I'm kind of coming around to that a little bit. If they obviously they got to pan out and they got to ball out.
Pierce and Walker, right? Walker and Pierce,
And Walker's a little bit more versatile as well. You can kind of have in the linebacker position, but those guys coming off the edge. I mean, if it works, even if he hit on one of them.
He chose number 11. Same number Julio.
Disrespect, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, it's available. They ain't hanging up in the rafters.
They should retire Julio's number. They should retire Deion's number. The fact that they haven't retired those numbers is blasphemous to me.
And that's why they lost a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl.
Listen, you're just trying to dunk on Atlanta right now. Don't you live in Atlanta?
Yeah, I live in Georgia, but I'm just being real.
Yeah,
I just 100% real. I'm not an Atlanta fan.
I know,
but I'm saying
clearly because.
But I'm saying but you know who was the offensive coordinator? Shanahan.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Shanahan. He's lost several Super Bowls. Mr. Genius. You're up 28-3. All you got to do is use the clock.
On the ball.
Get a couple field goals in the second half, you win. Especially when you was opening up a new stadium and charging all these PSLs and all the money you was charging to the fans to go watch a bad product. You should have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well.
I don't understand how Matt Ryan was actually hiking the ball with 15 seconds left on the play clock. You should have been hiking the ball with 1 second left. Those extra seconds gave the Patriots more time
to do what they need to do to win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go into the conspiracy of it. I'll leave that alone. But Shanahan, Mr. Intelligent, you lost a 28-3 lead. You lost a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter to Pat Mahomes.
And he lost another lead to Pat Mahomes again. Too.
Yeah. I mean, help us out, Mr. Genius.
Listen, well, he's with the Niners, so Niners got to figure that out. Niners gang, I guess, it's okay. Our brother Rio is a Niners fan.
He's not on today because he would have a lot to say. So
it's okay. We'll talk. Don't worry. I'll tag him in these and he'll see what he said. So it's okay. So lastly, we'll get into the NHL playoffs. Have been great so far. My team, 3 games so far. We're up 2-1.
My team,
your team, games, and then the NFL girls team, your all team.
And we got shut out last game.
Got shut out, and
I'll take it. I'll take it.
It was. Listen. I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you 2 questions. So, number 1, are you concerned about kind of where your team is right now, and do you feel like the game yesterday was more so like? Because my observation was I felt like your goalie was playing well, and then he let in that 1 goal, and then the floodgates opened. So, do you feel like this is a kind of concern going forward, or are you just like, you know what? It was just a really bad game. He'll flush it, and we're on to game 4.
So what I truly believe is they came out flat game 1, lost that one.
They did.
The second game, they came out, played capital hockey, and won that game.
Mm-hmm.
The travel from Washington over to that home thing, I think that affected it because we got older guys.
True.
Right? And we got bigger guys. We don't have no fast, small guys that can recover right away.
No, we don't.
So to get shut out, though, was amazing to me with all that firepower on that team,
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like what you guys getting shut out last series, right?
Yeah, the 1 game.
What are they going to do the next game? It's pivotal. Tomorrow, they got to win that game, flat out. They got to rough them up and win that game. And to your point, when you go from Washington to the Hurricanes' home game, and you give up a goal early, the floodgates going to come open, right? Because he's used to his team giving him a lead or a cushion. We can play a little looser, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And it's not so much pressure on you.
Yeah.
Your team not scoring, that means you got to stop everything.
Everything he did.
You don't have an opportunity to slack off and things like that. That's a lot of pressure because the buck stops with the goalie.
Last line.
If your defensive line, if your defense is not really holding them back and not keeping them off that line and keeping them in the front court, your goalie's gonna get multiple shots at him. You can't stop everything. I don't care if you're the best goalie in the world. That puck is coming 85 miles per hour, 65, 75, whatever is coming off that stick is coming.
It's coming fast.
Yeah. And I mean, I might have exaggerated the speed, but it's coming fast.
No, it's probably coming faster. Some guys shoot damn near 100 miles an hour.
So yeah, I think we'll be okay. I think this is a pivotal game, and we have to win tomorrow.
Okay.
Tie it up, go back home, and then put the pressure back on them because the pressure is all on us now.
I feel the same way about my team. I feel like we won the first 2 games. All games have been close. 2 of them went. I think one of them they went to overtime. The last game, obviously, was a little bit bothered that we were up 2-0, and then credit to Florida, they came back. They won the game overtime. Marchand been our pest nemesis for the Leafs, got an overtime goal. So I like the way we've played, especially game 2, because everyone after game 1 was like, "Oh, are we going to go after Sam Bennett for elbowing our goalie?" Because for context, Sam Bennett for the Panthers elbowed our goalie. Goalie got knocked out, basically was puking on the sideline, ended up having to leave in a stretcher, like it got real bad. And so everyone and the Toronto media was driving me batty because for 2 days all they were saying is, "Oh, is the Leafs going to go after Sam Bennett? Should they go after Sam Bennett? Should they hit him? Should they get a penalty?" I'm glad and listen, the coach said, "Listen, I thought it was a dirty play." NHL said, "No, it wasn't. We're not going to do anything." He flushed it. Okay, let's go play. You know what I'm saying? Which I like because I'm glad they didn't go and try to retaliate and again get some stupid penalty and then put us behind the 8 ball. I'm glad that they kind of locked in. All that being said, listen, Leafs, you got to win tonight. Tonight's a pivotal game. I feel like, to me, you have an opportunity to put a stranglehold on this series. You go up 3-1. Now you got an opportunity to close out this series. It's 2-2. If you get it 2-2, then you give them life. And to me, with Florida, they're too good to give this team life. You have an opportunity to stranglehold this series. You choke this team the fuck out, and you win this fucking game. This, to me, is the game. Because if it goes 2-2, now it's like, oh, I don't know. And the narrative of, oh, the Leafs can't win or the Leafs this and that. To me, if you win this game, you put now all the pressure back on Florida now. All the pressure now on Florida.
I agree with you 100%, man.
So so this game, you got to win this game.
Yeah, because if you guys win 2 home games and then they win 2 home games, it's even.
It's even.
It's like nobody has done nothing.
Ice advantage, but that don't really mean shit to me.
But it's like nobody did anything at that point, though, because
exactly it's a wash.
Yeah.
So to me, Leafs, go out there and fucking win this game tonight. You got to win.
7:30, man. 7:30.
It's 7:30. I'm ready. I am like, Leafs, go. If you want to listen, if you want people to stop with the narrative, oh, the Leafs choke and the Leafs are chokers and the Leafs can't win tonight. You have an opportunity to quell this shit. You have an opportunity to put a stranglehold on this series, and this is the chance. So it's gonna be a close game. We're not gonna blow them out. Listen, if we blow them out, I'll be happy as a clam. But obviously, it's gonna be a tough ass series. Go out there and choke them the fuck out and win this fucking game. And I'll give a team that I've been dunking on, the Winnipeg Jets. I've been dunking on them all playoffs. They actually won yesterday, dominated. So I'll give them their flowers. I mean, I love their playoff atmosphere. The all white is sick. Everybody's rocking the all white like they're at a Diddy party or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. But
no Diddy
here. But it's great. It's the atmosphere is lovely. They dominate. They played the way they're supposed to play. That's how you're supposed to play. You're the number 1 seed. You're the number 1 overall seed in the playoffs. That's how you're supposed to play. You're supposed to dominate a team, and credit to them. Now, VO's pick and my pick, and even NFL Girls' pick for the Stanley Cup, Edmonton Oilers. They lost last night in a fucking heartbreaking fashion. To lose,
still up 2-1 though.
But dude, they lost. The dude scored the goal for the Vegas Knights with 0.4 seconds on the clock, bro.
I'm saying Vegas have a lot of rides, man. They have a lot.
They do, no, but listen, Edmonton won 6 straight games, which is surprising considering their goaltending's been ass, and it's still been ass. I mean, their goaltending, regardless, right now, there's the thing that Edmonton Oilers fans are going to have to accept. Your goaltender, whoever you're having there, is going to give at least 4 goals. Whether it's Skinner or Pickard, 4 goals. You're going to give up 4 goals. You're not going to get a shutout. That's probably not going to happen. You're going to give up 4 goals. So your team now is going to have to score at least 4 to 5 goals a game to win. There's just no other way around. So can you keep up that pace at this point? Because you can't go and sign another goalie. You can't. This is what you got. This is what you got. You can't resurrect like Patrick Waugh or Martin Tan-Brodeur, one of the greats. This is who you have. Either one, whether it's Skinner or Pickard, each of them have given up at least 3 or 4 goals in their games. Even the games they won, they've given up 4 goals. So good luck. I mean, listen, I'm still picking them because Connor McDavid is amazing, and that goal that he had in overtime in Game 2 in Vegas the assist he had where he crossed up the guy and passed it was beautiful. But the goaltending is just it is what it is.
I mean, the Golden Knights are the number 2 seed, though, right? So
the Golden Knights are great. They're a great team.
Yeah, they supposed to win. So big ups to Edmonton, right?
Yeah,
for playing, disciplined hockey.
They have,
and you caught a bad break.
Bad break.
Yeah, that's a bad break, right?
That's
because
a bad break.
You'll be up 3-0.
But then that's because the game would have went over. But then that goes to my point about the goaltending being shit.
Yeah, it does.
But again, you have what you have.
We've been talking about goaltending since we started. Since the
started, right? Yeah. And again, Edmonton fans. You're just gonna have to accept that this is what you got. So
yeah, but you can't continue to win like that though, because it gets harder and harder.
I mean, to your point, it caught up with them yesterday.
Yeah, but not to a certain point though, right? Because they had it. All you got to do is keep the guy. You got to keep the guy under control and go into overtime, and then take your break, come back disciplined, and do what you've been doing. You cannot let them win in regulation.
Yeah,
and give them momentum because now they believe. So next game is going to be even tougher.
It's with Edmonton it's just tough because again their goaltending has been so spotty, and now it's like what I said. It's like you just have to accept that your guy is going to give up 4 goals. Like that's the point it's gotten to. And to your point, can you win that way? Probably not. I mean, they won 6 straight games doing that. Now, granted, I said this last week about LA, someone having to lose their job. Yeah, their general manager mutually parted ways, which means they basically said, yeah, you got to get out of here. So someone had to fall on the sword for that. But again, now you're going to Vegas. To your point, Vegas is deep, got a really good team. Can they win the series? Giving up 4 goals this game, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Their offense is really good, but again, you got to score at least, knowing that you got to score at least 5 goals to win a game at least.
That's a lot of pressure, man.
That's a lot to your point. That's going to be the question because I think that's just the reality that Edmonton's in. Like to your point, your team, y'all goalie can get a game where he might give 1 or 2 goals and win.
Yeah.
My goalie will give up maybe 2 goals, can still win. Right? Edmonton, nah. They're going to give up at least 4. At least 4. Maybe on a good night, 3.
And that's just tough, man, in playoff hockey.
It's just playoff hockey, yeah.
Because sometimes your offense might not be clicking.
And then you might get
1 goal, right?
And to your point, even if, let's say, you get a bunch of shots on net, you might only get 1 of them in. Meanwhile, your guy may get, let's say, the other team shoots like 14 shots on goal and they get 3 goals. And you, let's say, get 26 shots on net, you get 1 goal. So all that, it's tough. And so Edmonton, I don't know what listen, you're going to have to figure it out because their cap struck similar to us, right? Like we got to maneuver, create, because the draft, it's not like any NHL cap is different. Like ours, the NHL cap is extremely tight. So you're going to have to, I don't know what you're going to, and the goaltenders I find are just hard to come by. It is hard to find.
You got to draft well, or you got to get somebody that wasn't that good on one team, and he comes over to your team and he has an awakening.
Because for your point,
that is what happens.
See, when you're right, Smooth, you're right. Because Carolina's goalie was with Toronto, was not that great, and now he's in Carolina and he's busting ass.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what because of that specialist type position, you got to get fortunate. Because there's a lot of goalies that are not good on a specific team, and then they come onto your team, you're like, oh wow, all pro, right?
Yeah,
he's actually, one of the best goalies out there, getting rewards and stuff like that. Yeah. And you're looking at Toronto. Toronto's like, hold up, who is this guy?
Yeah, because we ran him out. We ran out Anderson. We damn near ran Anderson out of here. The media, the fans were like, get this guy out of here. Now he's in Carolina.
And y'all could use him right now. You see what I'm saying?
God, yes. If we have him here now, oh my God. I would feel extremely confident. Right now, I'm just hoping that we can win this game. Like, I feel we can, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, listen, Edmonton could use him. Shit. Edmonton would use him. If Edmonton had him, Oh, they're definitely winning the Stanley Cup.
Florida hasn't come out and jumped on y'all not one game yet.
They haven't.
And that's the thing that's been surprising to me because they have great offense.
They do.
So y'all been able to like slow them down, keep them under control in the first half, but like when we get to the second or third, they get loose a little bit, right?
That's the problem. Because I find the second
it's hard though. It's really hard to shut. It's too many of them.
There is.
And they coming in waves. So even if that first line, here comes that second line. And they have speed. And that's the thing. They got
and then
speed.
the third line comes. And then then you think, okay, the fourth line, they're just gonna play. No, they're coming too.
They're gonna attacking, right?
Yeah,
so
they're all attacking.
I'm surprised. So hopefully, if they come out and jump on y'all tonight, it might be a hard night for y'all, man.
It will be. So we have to, and again, they have confidence now because they won game 3. So,
but again, it wasn't an easy win though, right?
Oh no, all games have been hard, right? So again, the Leafs, I feel like you got to listen. The same way you came out in the first period, you scored those first 2 goals. You got to do that, and you got to sustain it. You got to sustain it. And again, you've beaten this team twice, so it's not like you can't beat this team. You're capable. You've shown that you can beat them. You just got to be able to sustain it. Because again, and my whole thing with Florida is, as great as they are, my thing is you've been to the Stanley Cup 2 straight years. That's 2 deep playoff runs.
A lot of wear and tear.
A lot of wear and tear. That's my thinking. That at some point, hopefully in this series, I'm hoping, praying to God that this happens in this series, that you'll break down completely and we're able to go in. And at that point, you know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. But listen, we got to win tonight. Like how y'all got to win when y'all play.
Oh, yeah, we
absolutely,
tomorrow.
To me, have to win tonight. This is the series.
Nah, man, but at least y'all have 2 wins already.
We have 2 wins at least, so we have that in the bank. But
y'all have a little bit of breathing room. We don't have any.
Nah, yeah, that's the difference. We have a little bit, whereas you guys, you have to win game 4.
We have none, and we got shut out.
Yeah.
So how do you rebound from being shut out? And see, that's the key, right?
Yeah.
Y'all rebounded and y'all won handily, right?
Yeah.
So now the Caps, you got to step up. You cannot get pushed around like that.
Yeah.
And get shut out with all those scores on that team, you can't do that. That's just. It's like they got shocked. It wasn't prepared.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely tonight it definitely must win. You got to win tonight. I think you win tonight. You got an opportunity.
So we get to watch you guys tonight, right? We have another day off.
Yes.
So
get to watch it.
Play tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch it, guys. Right? You guys come on at 7:30.
7:30. I'm ready. I am ready. I'm excited.
But also, the Cavs come on at 8:00.
Cavs come on. Listen, Cavs right now are playing as confident basketball. I mean, they played great. I mean, Donovan Mitchell played great. Mobley played great. Garland, we already talked about Garland earlier, was dominant. I mean, listen, I was so far, technically, I think I'm going to be right on my pick, at least for Indiana. I think I said 6. It's going to at least go 6.
But you're only right, though, because we didn't know Garland.
It doesn't matter. Listen, I'm still right. Doesn't matter. Still right. The Knicks one is probably going to go 6.
Yeah,
it probably won't go 7. Not the way the Knicks played yesterday. It won't.
Let me ask you this though, right?
Sure.
If Garland was there, you think they'd be up 3-0?
I still think it would have been split. I think it would have been 2-1. I think it would have been 2-1 Cleveland. Sorry, but I think Indiana. I think it would have been went back and forth. I think Indiana would have split both games.
I don't know, man. They lost by 3 points and by 1 point. Garland there takes the heat off of Donovan Mitchell,
right?
It changes the rotation.
This is true, but I still think Indiana's got a good enough team that I think that they would have been able to get at least to
the first game.
2-2. Yeah, the first game, and then I think they would have probably snuck and got a win at home. That's what I was thinking. I did not think that they would win both games in Cleveland. No.
So the first game they would have had, if Garland was there, they'd have had that whole lineup. So they win game 1.
Mm-hmm.
They only won game 2 by that 1 basket when he hit the 3.
That is true. That is true.
And so I think right there, those variables could have had them up 3-0. And it'd have been a 4.5, like I said, right? I said 4.5.
You said 4.5. You did say 4.5, which sure, let's go 4.5. But again, so far so good. So but the Knicks, I said 7. Yeah, I don't know about 7 anymore. Not after what I saw yesterday. No.
I mean, the Nuggets are up 33-28 right now. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens in that game. I think that would be a close game. I think it'll be a nip and tuck game. But listen.
No, actually, OKC is up.
Well, it'll still be a nip and tuck game regardless. That's still. back and forth game. So
we'll
see what happens.
They need a veteran, man. They need a veteran score.
Well, listen, we'll listen, KD. I guess listen, we're advising KD if you ever watch the pod, we said it first. Go back home, bro. Go back home. Go back home.
Where it all started, and maybe you get another chip.
You might get another chip. So go back home. So anyway,
Mike.
Yeah.
I'm really going at 7:30, man.
I'm ready.
I'm not going to text you though. I'm not going to text you.
It's fine. You can listen, win or lose. You could text me. It's fine. I'm sure NFL girl will text me if my team is, especially if we get blown out. I know she's going to talk shit. So
see, all you want to come back and say is your guys are down 2-0. You got 2-1. You got shut out. So I'm not going to talk no trash.
No, listen, we gotta, like I said, both of our teams are in pivotal win now games. Both of our teams. We can agree on that. I agree with you wholeheartedly. We got Maple Leafs. Go and win game 4, please.
Absolutely. So it's another great pod. Shout out to Cam Ward, man. I want to see him do well for you guys.
Hey, I saw his press conference yesterday. Seems like a good kid. I'm very excited to see what the offense does and all that. Obviously, we're going to be, listen, summer hits, it's going to be a dry sports cycle, so we're definitely be talking about more football than anything else.
Yeah, it's coming.
We'll squeeze a little bit and other sports in there, but it's going to be mostly football during the summer.
Yeah, because in a few weeks, NBA and hockey will be over.
And then it's just going to be baseball. And, we can talk some baseball, but,
We'll talk about, maybe some fantasy football.
There was a good baseball game a couple of days ago with the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. That game was a great game.
I think that's bad pitching though.
It was bad pitching. They gave over 25 hits. Jesus, that is bad pitching.
Like 14-12, right?
Yeah. Shohei hit that crazy home run. The bat flip was sick. Listen.
The backflip?
Yeah. Backflip was crazy. 12 and listen, to show how great Shohei is and to show how futile my Blue Jays are, Shohei has 12 home runs. I think the Blue Jays may have 13 as a team.
Don't take it personal, man. Relax.
No, not Matt. Listen, I'm just saying. One guy. It just shows how really good Shohei is as a player.
Yeah, he is
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why are you even pitching to Shohei? I would have just walked him, to be honest with you. That, to your point, that goes to bad pitching because I'm not pitching to Shohei.
Agreed.
And you threw it right over the damn plate. I don't know.
I told you he been struggling at the plate a little bit for him. Because he was 1 for 3 before that at bat.
I know.
But it was something like that. You can't wake up a sleeping giant.
No, bro. You got to pitch around this dude. I just don't a lot of the home runs he's been hitting. It's like they're just throwing it over the plate. It's like freaking home run derby pitching with this guy. I don't understand what you all are doing. Is your strategy? What is your strategy pitching to Shohei?
I think it comes down to I was gonna say something. I have no idea what are they doing. I have no
because
idea.
The home run he hit, they was over the plate. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You're asking him to.
It dropped a little bit though. It dropped a little bit. A little bit.
Listen, you got to drop.
It wasn't straight. Come on, Mike. It wasn't straight down the middle. It dropped a little.
You got to listen. I'm throwing Shohei stuff inside, bro. I'm not throwing nothing. I'll either damn near hit him, or I'm jamming him. There's
inside
no
and
way.
off the plate. Inside and off the plate.
Yeah. There's no way I'm getting anything where I feel like he can get it over the. No. I'm trying to. If it's a curveball, I'm gonna give him and then hopefully it drops. Maybe that was what he threw and it didn't drop.
Yeah, because if it don't drop, that's in prime hitting position.
Yeah, that's the problem with the curveball. When
he hit it, he smokes it. There's no.
Yeah, he
barely over the wall. None of that. He
smoked that. He smoked the shit. I was like, damn.
But it's a tough lineup though, Mike.
When you got Betts, Freeman, and Shohei.
That. How do you get around that? And Freeman was on a 20-game hitting streak or something.
Yeah, he was on a hit streak. And Mookie Betts is like a beast. So yeah, that lineup is it's gonna be tough. Listen, we can just put the Dodgers in the World Series right now. Because as good as the Giants have played, as good as the Padres have played, I just don't think they're going to beat the Dodgers in a 7-game series.
The Giants are one of those teams that every other year they would be in a.
That's basically what they are. Every other team.
Yeah, every other year. And you're like, what happened? And all of a sudden they're in the World Series. And you're like, what?
Yeah, that's what they are now. Last year they sucked, and now this year they're really.
This year they're rolling. Every other year. That's what I saw. I'm like. because you don't pay attention to them, and next you know, they're in the World Series.
Because again, the Giants roster is just okay. It's not great. It's okay.
They play disciplined baseball though, man. They know how to play baseball.
They do.
And they play the right way.
Yeah,
and that's why they always did.
And the Padres are playing really good too. Like, I mean, I like the way they're playing as well. I like their young pieces as well. But again, it's just, I mean, even the Diamondbacks have been up and down. You know, hell, even your hometown. I mean, I know it's not your team, but like the Georgia, I mean, the Atlanta Braves. I mean, now they're on a heater and they've been winning games now because they were playing like dog shit.
Atlanta's been good for a while though, right?
Yeah, I mean, they lost their first. They were like 0-9 the beginning of the year. Now they're 19-20. So
they always have these ebbs and flows, but when they get down to it, they're right there in that playoff hunt every year.
They'll be. I mean, I think the way they're playing now, they'll definitely be in the playoff hunt.
And they won it like 3 years ago, right?
They did. They beat the Houston Astros. So Freddie Freeman was on that team.
He was.
And now he's on the Dodgers winning another World Series.
No doubt, man. But
the rich get richer.
Again, we're on all the platforms, like Mike said. Shout us out. Watch our shorts.
Yep.
And we're doing good things here. Straight sports talk. Nobody's telling us what we can say and what we can't say. So come join us.
Absolutely. You want to tap in anytime. Like I said, any comments, anything, hit us up. Like I said, we're on all the platforms. We're going to be on TikTok shortly. I'm going to be posting stuff on TikTok soon enough. But we are making some traction on the shorts, so definitely check us out. Check us on, like I said, YouTube. We got all you can less see our lovely face on YouTube. But if you can't because you're traveling, you got stuff to do. If you're on Apple, we're on Spotify as well. And again, you can check out our Instagram page as well at the originals _ sports podcast. Check us out. Again, we're on Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. I am signing off. We're signing off. Again, we were just me and you today, Smooth, like it was the beginning. But we're going to have our full team hopefully next week. It's Happy Mother's Day again, everybody, all the moms out there.
Absolutely.
And we will see y'all next week for some more sports talk. Obviously, playoffs. We're going to be talking about that till the playoffs are done. But again, tap in if you want to. We're out. Peace and love.
Peace out.